Your eyes are not deceiving you. It's very small. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. Today we're taking a first look, run, and review of the new Axial SCX30. If you thought the 24th scale stuff was small, be prepared because this guy is tiny. It's so small. I mean, I've got massive hands, so maybe that's not a great way to show you the size of it. This might help. Here's a 1300 milliamp hour 3S LiPo pack. It's tiny. This is wildly small. But I would say, right out of the gate, it's small, but I don't think they skimped in a lot of places. As you can see, this is a nicely detailed, let me bring it up closer to the camera here, a very nicely detailed modern Jeep Rubicon. This is the four-door JLU, of course, and you can see it's updated with the more recent grille style, so it's not like they're skimping on the details there. There's a really cute little light bar. All of your rear view mirrors, your wipers, your hood vents, plastic fenders, nice tube style bumper, recovery ramps. We've got what look to be some Pelican style cases, a jack, a bunch of tools, spare tire, rear tail lights, the works. It's really loaded up. You even get a couple of roto packs on there as well. It's loaded up with gear, and this is a plastic hard body on here as well. It's amazing how much detail they packed into such a small package. Yes, I said package. It does have LED headlights and I believe taillights as well. It is a completely new bespoke chassis just for Axial. You have not seen this anywhere else. I promise you that. All new. And some surprises under the hood too. So why don't we get into some of those details? They've got printing on the sidewall of these tires. They are Yokohama Geolandar XMTs, which you might be familiar with. I know Vanquish also has a license for Yokohama, and I believe they made this tire as well in a 2.2. Yeah, they've really gone pretty wild with the details. And there is a certain amount of performance under the hood with this little guy as well. As you can see, those are shocks. There are actual little tiny baby shocks under there. Hard to see, and we'll get the body off here in a second so I can show you more. But fully linked, 4-link front, 4-link rear. And look at those little tiny pumpkins on those axles. That's pretty wild. It's hard to believe they were able to package all of this into such a small little container. You might also notice underneath there, if I turn it that way a little bit more for you, there we go. That's an angled skid. So it's built with some performance in mind, which is pretty wild. It's pretty wild indeed. All right, let's get this body off. We'll show you how that comes off, and then we'll get into some of the features of this new chassis. How does this body come off? Oh yeah, I believe it's from the front, and I think it's just friction snap fit into place. You pull that up like that, and then there's a little slot in the back, and you can see that right there. Pull that backwards, and off it comes, all one piece. And notice the headlights are integrated into the chassis. Same with the taillights. So neither of those elements are part of the body. So you don't have to worry about any of the LED wiring coming off or snapping off when you take the body off the chassis. Pretty smart little maneuver there. Little spec list for you here. Damped shocks, not oil filled. Looking at the exploded view of the shock, it does appear as though you could put a drop or two of oil in there. There are O-rings, but I mean, I don't know how they would hold oil. This might be more of a grease situation to get them to feel a little more damped. That's probably what I would do, but sprung at least. Full ball bearings throughout. It is going to be worm axle driven still, so don't try to turn the tires not under power because they won't. Plastic drive shafts, plastic links, all plastic construction on the chassis. We've got this like transverse or very interesting transmission here, and I'll give you, there you go, better closer view of it. But you can see an 88 turn brush motor horizontally mounted as opposed to mounted in the typical way. So they've changed everything up there in order to really compact up this whole transmission. But It does look like it's a pretty beefy transmission, and we'll see if we can get that apart without ruining things. There is a lot of hex hardware, but there is some Phillips head hardware as well. And then it's got an SLT2 compatible ESC receiver combo. That's this whole unit on this side here. It does come with a little mini LiPo battery here. This is a 2S 160 milliamp hour LiPo battery. It's almost as big as the balance plug. It does have this nice little rubberized strap here on the side for putting a battery in place, which is great. Looks really good. This whole power unit is one thing, like I said, 2-in-1. So you're really kind of limited to that if you want to keep it stock. But they do have a little spot here for the power button underneath, which I thought was a pretty sweet little deal as well. For steering, we've got an SX112 Spectrum servo. This is beyond micro. I would say that's micro times 2, or I don't know. It's very small. Those are dog bones for steering. And like I said, full LED lighting, headlights and taillights. So that's sort of the whole package there. But definitely more comp inspired than scale inspired, while still maintaining all of that look. Like I said, it's angled skid and forward weight bias. Most of the weight is sitting over the front axle. So it really is kind of built to perform. Now, of course, at this scale, you're not going to get anywhere close to the same level of performance that you would out of a larger truck, even a 24 scale truck for that matter. So your obstacles are really going to dictate how much can be accomplished with something this small. My guess is it's going to be great for taking to work. So when you have a free moment and you're sitting around at work, you're like, well, you know what? I'm going to do a little rock crawling on my desk, on my keyboard. I think that's going to be where this truck really kind of falls into place, is that super small, crawl anywhere sort of idea. And I think that's exactly what I'm going to do with mine. It does come with the SLT2 radio, very familiar radio to most of the ready-to-run stuff from all of the Horizon brands. Easy to operate one-handed and does a perfectly acceptable job. I've also got the DXC Plus, which has the dual protocols, so I can bind it to this tiny little guy if I wanted to. In the box, not only do you get the truck, the battery, the charger, you also get a sticker sheet, some other documentation, as well as a full, very thick manual, which I'm sure is in many different languages. So yes, it is. It is sold as a ready-to-run truck, so you do get battery, charger, batteries for the transmitter, everything you need to get started, and you'll be off to the races with your tiny little SCX30. I should also mention, now, this does not only come as a Jeep, which I know offends many people for some reason, it also comes as a Ford Bronco. So if that's more your style, you can get that. White and green, I think, for the Jeep, and blue and I want to say silver. I was right, blue and silver. Okay, so there you go. That's a first look. Let's turn it on and see how it does on the bench, and then we'll take it out for a proper run. There it goes. I do like this clipless body system with the snap into place setup there. That's pretty good. Gosh, I cannot get over how small it is. It's so tiny. Oh, that's great. That is really great. Oh yeah, that 88 turn brush motor in a 24 scale isn't all that much. But in this little guy, that's giving you plenty of torque. I love that. That's great. Lots of wheel speed too. Holy cow. How much of an Oh, yes. That's fantastic. Look at that thing go. That's genuine surprise. I honestly thought, and I mean, I've been in this game a while, and the SCX24 has been out for a long time. I think that first came out in like 2018, 2019 perhaps. So it's had a number of years, 6 years since its first inception. I've always said that the motor has always felt a little underpowered. But to see that same size motor go into a smaller truck seems to have made all the difference. This is obviously much more powerful than I was anticipating. And it's still got a lot of low end. Nice low end speed. Gosh, that is really good. Servo feels pretty decent as well. Looks like we're getting a little more steering right than we are left, and I'm wondering if I can maybe turn that. No, that's about all we got there. Perhaps we can fix that by switching radios. Maybe we get a little more travel on drivers than we're getting now. But that's pretty good. It's a loud transmission for the size of the vehicle. I was expecting it to be a bit quieter, but that's a better radio control experience than I was anticipating for this scale. Okay, headlights look good. Yeah, nice and bright. Tail lights as well, fantastic. What a great looking little guy. This is really, really nice. It's a lot better engineering than I thought I was going to see. Usually when things get smaller, they get simpler. And I think that's just the nature of how mechanics usually work. But in this case, they've managed to make a pretty decent looking little truck. I like it. There's nothing in the manual about this, but they do include a selection of other pieces of plastic. What I'm seeing here is what looks to be more of a comp-inspired tube-style fender setup. So we can add a bunch of fenders. We can also remove the rear spare tire, and there's a little plastic piece in there to replace that spare. And then we've got all these little white parts, and I'm not sure exactly what these are for. I presume it's to replace all of the bits on the roof rack. So if you wanted to go a little more comp and a little less heavy up top, you could remove all of these pieces and replace the mounting points with all these little bits of smooth plastic so it doesn't just look empty. It's actually good kind of forward thinking on Axial's part. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised by how good this is. It's obvious that they've done their homework and they've spent all of the time learning from what they've done with the SCX24, scaled it down and made it better with the SCX30. Do you think that there is a place for a scale this size? I honestly think there is, because I really feel like there's a ton of downtime at work, and I would love to have something like this just sitting on the desk waiting for me. It's small enough that you could hide it too. What are you doing? Nothing. If you think this is something you're interested in, post a comment down below. I love interacting with my fans, and I always try to answer as many of those comments as I can. And of course, if you're enjoying this video and you like micro-sized RCs, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. I will definitely look at changing out these fenders. I would like to see what these other tube fenders look like. I'm always up for a change. And if you're looking for a change, segue, you should check out the YouTube channel membership that we have here at the Scale Builders Guild, where I have all kinds of behind-the-scenes content, tips and tricks, how-tos, travel logs, all kinds of extra bonus content, including giveaways that you cannot get anywhere else. If you're interested in something like that, link down below, and please help me by thanking all of these ding-dongs for being a part of that really awesome, tight-knit community. Thank you, ding-dongs. Now let's see how it does outdoors, or possibly indoors, but just not here on the bench. And I think that's going to do it. Thank you so much to Axial for sending me the SCX30 so I could do this review, and of course to you for watching. We'll see you again next time.